really like those bans. I think they're really, really well placed. On the flip side, they banned out Jax, Braum, and Akali. I don't like Braum. I've mentioned this many, many times on stream. I think he's a very phenomenally strong pick in organized play, or if you're like duoed with an AD carry, or even in high elo. But his laning phase just isn't that strong. He doesn't have early kill potential like level 1 through 3. He doesn't have poke damage. He doesn't have sustain. He just, I don't know. I mean, he has a lot in his kit, and he's very, very powerful as a support. But for me, as a support, I need to win lane before level 6. And Braum usually doesn't do that, unless you're like versus someone who just walks into you and you counter engage. So that's why I don't think he's really worth a ban. I think there's much better bans, but to each their own. Maybe they just don't want to deal with it, and that's fine. Akali, I've seen Akali be quite successful in low elo, and I think that she has a place there as either a pick or ban, but why wouldn't you just ban something like Rengar or like another one of those really, really snowbally annoying champions? I think there's ones that are more popular than Akali. And then in terms of picks, we have a jungle Elise, support Lux. Oh, okay. So I have a support Lux with AD carry Corki, a mid Ahri, and then a Malphite top lane. I think Malphite top lane is very strong right now and highly underrated. That being said, you have to play it really well if you're going to do much with it. I'm excited to see how well he uses that teleport. That's really what this is going to boil down to for him. If he lands his teleport ganks well, he's just going to be golden. He's going to be so awesome. Lux, though, Lux is only useful if she dominates lane. If she falls behind, she's not of any use as a support. I've done it. I've done a lot of Lux support. I just don't think it's a very reliable pick for the role. It's a kill lane. You have to win lane if you want to be effective. Then on split side, they're versus an Olaf jungle, a Thresh Draven bot lane, which is terrifying. Any hard engage with Draven is pretty scary, and I'm not 100% confident Lux is going to be able to deal with that. Then mid lane, there's a Fizz, and top lane Tryndamere. I hate to give the advantage over to blue team, but I think their team comp is a little better. Outside of the Lux pick, if they had a proper support, I would just hands down be like, blue team, boom, you got this. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how this plays, because if Thresh Draven get any sort of an advantage early game, they're just going to snowball and run away with it. If Fizz lands any sort of an early game lead, he's going to snowball and run away with it. Whereas blue team is, yes, they're the more consistent scaling team outside of the Lux pick, but at the end of the day, I'm not confident in their laning phase. Okay, so just waiting for this to load in. I sometimes have an issue with Spectator Client where it like half freezes. Yeah, I'm going to give the laning phase to purple team, whereas the team fight, so if they survive the laning phase and are able to scale up, I would give that over to blue team. So both teams have many opportunities to get an advantage and to run away with it. So I'm excited to see how this goes. That being said though, like if blue team falls behind at all, I'm worried for them. Some people in chat talking about Braum as a late game monster. Yes, Braum is very, very strong late game. But in solo queue, and again, I'm not talking about tournaments, I'm not talking about high elo, but in solo queue, games are usually decided by 15-20 minutes in. There's usually one team with a huge advantage and it's just closing out the match, right? Or throwing. So Braum, his strength doesn't really pop in until the point where the game is usually already decided. And that's why I had some complaints about him as a solo queue pick. It's not that he's a weak champion, it's not that his kit isn't good, it's phenomenal. It's just, games are usually over by the time he reaches his main power spike. Alright, so if you guys have any other questions in chat, I'll answer them while we load in, because this could take a few minutes. Yeah, the Thresh and Draven skins do go well together. They're very similar. Honestly, they should just call it Soul Reaver Thresh. Alright, we are loaded in now. Just going to line up all the icons for you before you complain. Off-topic question someone's asking about, what do you do as a Nami versus a Blitzcrank? Ward the bushes, play safely, avoid the hooks, and once the hooks are avoided, then you can poke back in. But it's a lane where you have to play much more passively than you might want on Nami. But that is one of her strengths, because Nami always has a way to be useful. If you can play aggressive, you can with your bubble engages, with your poke on your E and W. If you need to play passive, you can do that, just staying the hell back, bubbling to counter engages, using your heal, and that you have that sustain, right? And in a poke lane, well, you have sustain, you have poke, you have so many things that you can do. So you need to adjust your playstyle based on the lane and how your team and the enemy team is playing it. Someone's asking if you're versus a Braum lane. Do you harass Braum or do you harass the AD carry given they're both in lane? Obviously you want to hit the AD carry, but in any lane, you should be, or any fight I should say, in any fight, you need to be hitting whoever you can safely. So if that's Braum, hit Braum, who cares? You're dealing damage to someone. But the fact that you're saying that you're in range of both Braum and their AD carry, that means you're out of position or you're finishing off a kill because they're both low health. And if they're both low health, well, obviously you want to focus the AD carry first. So it's a little bit of a loaded question, and I know you probably won't like my answer, but let's face it, why are you in range of both of them if you're not trying to finish a kill? So we see pretty standard starts coming out here. Both top laners actually use their Sightstone wards to try and... not Sightstone. I've been calling them Totem wards for so long, or Explorer wards, that's what I was calling them. I was calling them Explorer wards so long, and now I've just switched over and I'm calling them something else incorrect. In the early laning phase, Malphite is going to win versus Tryndamere just because he scales so well with armor, and he has that Doran's. That being said, though, he can run out of mana pretty quickly if he gets caught out. So I'm interested to see how this lane goes. We see the early aggression coming in from Trynd. He's trying to get that quick RNG, the extra crit chance, and he's trying to make that work for him. That being said, he does have potions, so you need to keep that in mind. I would like to see him trying to reset his passive. Yeah, the early level 2 coming in from Trynd. Down in bot lane, we see the level 2 coming out from both. They land a lot of damage onto Draven. The exhaust goes down, but the kill does not quite happen. Thresh has both his cooldowns up and all summoner skills ready to go. Good harass coming out from Lux. I want to see Thresh playing a little bit more aggressively here. Generally speaking, if you can dodge out of any sort of a binding, you can then immediately follow it with a hook. Then pull in on the hook, flay backwards, auto attack, and watch Draven run away with a free kill. We do see Elise camping top, but Draven, sorry, not Draven, Tryndamere is not going to fall for that. It is warded. It's not really going to have any real risk. Early CS advantage going over to Ahri, but that's because, well, it's ranged versus melee. Ooh, poor use of your Playful Trickster there. You don't want to waste that. You need to have it up, and as a result, you then tanked a bunch of minions and a quick charm. Ahri actually could have done more damage during that, I feel, but still, significant misplay coming out from Fizz. That's not how you want to use that skill. Now, Fizz is pretty much just required to safely farm as much as he can and get a couple levels before he really does anything in this lane. At that point, he needs to bait out a skill shot or two, and then he can go in with a quick burst of aggression. Same as any melee versus range, really. You have to either all in or not fight. We see Olaf coming around behind. Fizz trying to bait the fight, but he kind of telegraphs it a little bit. And as you see, like, no damage goes through at all. So good play from Ahri, just maintaining her proper positioning, but I think that gank could have gone a lot smoother. Yeah, now we have Elise camping too. Let's take a... oh, no, there goes the gank. Alright, so Elise, you want to stay in human form unless you're going in for the kill. Also, don't use your cocoon too early because, well, he's just going to play full Trickster over it. Didn't happen in this fight, but just something to keep in mind. Alright, so Malphite actually does go back early. Oh, shit, I have this misaligned, sorry. So yeah, Trent is actually going to pull back even in terms of CS here because he's been left alone in lane. I would also expect to see him getting a level advantage as a result because, well, he's staying near minions. Alright, so I'm not sure what Thresh is doing here. He's just kind of hiding. As Thresh, you want to be playing aggressive. You want to be using your flame-powered auto attacks. You want to be forcing them out of lane, and then anytime they miss position, you go in with a hook. So he actually misses the hook, and then Elise is in behind. Elise lands the cocoon. A little bit of poor communication from blue team. They needed to follow that up. During the cocoon, Lux would have been able to land a binding, and then they could have chained in after that. So good play from Elise, but I think she should have pinged that. Just saying, spam ping, spam ping, spam ping. I'm starting a fight. Join it. Back in mid lane, we see Fizz hitting level 6. Uses his ult, barrier baited out from Ahri. That being said, though, no mana left on Fizz, so there's no risk. There's no risk for Ahri at all now. Now she's level 6, and if she lands something, she can go in. Alright, let's rewind that here. Alright, so Olaf ghosting in, gets the flash immediately from... gets the flash immediately from Corki. And she shows up, misses her cocoon, but immediately goes in, picks up the kill onto Olaf. Very nice job. Oh, Repel goes down, Q goes in. Flash comes out, hook goes down, and no mana left, so it's not like he could have played into tower. So yeah, they both actually need to back out here. They have 3 bot. They're probably going to try and pressure this tower. I would have actually liked to see them trying to force Dragon. Because with Lux Shield, they can take it quite quickly. At least Spiderlings tank it efficiently. Then follow up with a quick Lux Shield, and you can pick it up. Someone in chat asking about if Barrier is still the ideal skill for mid. Heal is fine, but you have to remember that auto attacks from Fizz with his W reduce healing effect. So if you're being engaged on, heal doesn't mean shit. So that's why Barrier is the smart choice coming in from Ahri. Alright, so out of mana top lane from Malphite, but it doesn't matter because he's so far ahead. He does have to be cautious though as a result. Alright, Ahri lands her charm, lands a lot of damage, but now both of them are out of mana. The bot lane pretty much dead even in CS. Fizz is actually caught up. He's only down 5 CS at the moment. Only real issue is that both junglers have spent so much time trying to gank that they have no farm. They're actually pretty far behind. So is this stacked? Yeah, it's at 150 or something like that. Okay. I wasn't sure because I was like, he has more stacks than that. I know he does. Alright, so trying to land some damage here. Malphite just returning as much as he can. A couple crits going down onto him, but he's still winning these trades. Of course, you do have to watch out for the Trindalt. Yeah, this is why Malphite's such a strong pick in this lane, because he can just build armor and then beat his ass. Hook lands very nice, cancels out the Valkyrie, flays backwards, Lux ult goes across, but not really landing any significant damage. Draven, I guess his stand aside was already used to set that up. I would like to see him ulting across when he was locked in place, right? You can continue auto attacking while it's coming back to you. Might not have got a kill, but it would have completely forced him out of lane. So Thresh clearing this out with the early Sightstone. I like the early Sightstone, that's nice. And not really able to land anything here. So Malphite, only problem with him is that he is running out of mana here. Alright, Tryndamere trying to stall out this buff. Ahri coming around. Not a whole lot of mana on her, though. The repel goes down. Tryndamere gets taken out. Ay, ay, ay. He had his ult. I'm not sure if he lagged or didn't think he needed it, but sloppy play on his part, but nice reaction time there on Elise. Alright, so that's going to go over to Ari. Alright, so Fizz is actually going for double Dorans into Sheen. I'm okay with that, but I want to see him picking up an early Deathfire Grasp. Also, I have a concern here. Ari went back when her lane's already pushed in. So she's not only missing this wave of farm, she's going to miss 2 more. So that's going to put her at a significant disadvantage. I know she wants items, and I'm not saying she shouldn't buy. But, I don't know. I think he needed to clear that out first. Alright, Draven's at about 210 stacks on his passive now. Lux landing a lot of damage onto Thresh, but that being said, that's your full combo. You have nothing left, and Thresh is only at half health. He's going to sustain back up quite quickly here. Alright, Thresh just replacing some vision across here. Alright, so you need to... Nope. Alright, so when you see Lux moving in like that, I would have walked back in... sort of back into the river almost, along this path. And then used a hook across her, thrown the lantern over towards Draven, pulled in, flayed backwards, ulted, and Draven would have gotten the kill, I believe. He still has a heal, you still have exhaust. There's no real risk to it. Just combo in on Lux. Lux is super fucking squishy. Thank you for mentioning that in chat. She didn't get her sweeping lens once she swapped over to Sightstone. As soon as you get Sightstone, there's no reason to have a warding totem. Alright, so taking way too much damage from minions there. You're getting a little caught out, buddy. You need to watch your positioning there. The flay goes down. He instead hooks a minion. Ult not able to connect. Sloppy from Thresh there. He needs to work on that. You can't use your skills like that. Lux ult is just coming up. Binding not quite able to connect though. I would be surprised if they didn't dive here. Lux ult is up right now. If she landed that ult across Thresh, there it is. Kill over to her. Very nice job, Lux. Draven ult coming across. Elise Cocoon not able to land. You need to focus this tower. Yeah, minions are running out though. Alright, Olaf trying to go in. Olaf is instead going to get caught out. Spider Firm goes through, and that's a kill over to Elise. Elise is actually having a very strong effect on this game. Props to her. Fizz comes down. Lux gets caught out by the ult. Very good reposition coming in from Corki in order to dodge out of that ult. But at the end of the day, he does go back in. Not ideal. You don't want that to happen. Fizz actually escapes. I'm surprised. Let's rewatch that because I want to point out a couple of misplays. Okay, so Olaf, you're in a little over your head here. Draven, you have stand aside. Stand aside Q would have killed Corki there. Instead, you sort of abandon your team. Stand aside still up, and you're letting your allies die. Again, you're canceling your auto attacks and not able to land anything. Oh, I apologize. Stand aside wouldn't work. He didn't have mana for it. Okay, so Trist is coming in from the side. That needs to be communicated. Draven needs to be re-engaging here. Chase in this fight. Alright, so poor play there from Fizz. He used his Playful Trickster, and it did not get used to dodge out of anything. Alright, so Elise not activating any of her Spider Form skills. Corki going back in, not using Q. Of course, doesn't have mana, so probably just needed to ult here. Take like a step over. Draven then just able to get free damage on Corki because he's way too deep. Ari coming in. Neurotoxin is up. I don't think he's able to get in range here. But yeah, my main concern was just with how the Corki was positioning and how Ari landed that final skill shot. That being said, it doesn't matter because she's here and she gets the kill. Alright, so needless rambling on my part. I would have liked to see them cycle over to Dragon. You have 3 people, you have shields, you have Spiderlings to tank it. Taking towers first is a better idea, actually. Tryndamere picking up some farm mid. Alright, so both of them are then going to try and rotate top to catch out Malphite. Malphite pushes into tower, and then looks like he's just going to back out. Yeah, no one's going to catch him. Thank you, Trin, for not chasing that and just picking up the farm instead. I appreciate seeing that. Alright, so as you can see, Malphite's still going to win these trades. He has his Chalice finished. Let's rewind that. Oh, apparently that's a long fight that I wasn't paying attention to. Alright, so Thresh gets slightly caught out by Elise, but then catches on with a hook. Corki goes through with a very nicely played combo here. Lux follows through, gets the ult across. Corki is caught inside the Thresh box. And I'm expecting Valkyrie to go through here at some point. Elise has the stun ready. You have your cocoon, dude. There it is. Okay. So lands the cocoon. Corki, you need to be using your rockets between each attack. And it needs to be onto Olaf. Olaf's in the middle of your team. Lux, you have your E up. And when Draven walks into that, you need to remember to detonate. So slightly sloppy there. Alright, Valkyrie goes down. Axe goes through. He should be able to just reckless strike that right there. So, Olaf, I'm not sure what you were doing there. You had your E up. You could have just killed her. But yeah, Corki needed to finish off that kill faster. At the end of the day, though, they do get it eventually. I think Lux should have moved back towards to zone off the rest of them, and Corki should have been saving his jungler. Ah, the wet noodle fight. Alright, so, trying to go aggressive versus him. Not ideal because of his ult. Now, you actually do get swung onto. You have your flash this entire time, though. You have your E up. Grand Slam right now. No, you're going to let him catch up to you instead. There it goes. Nice work. That being said, the Grand Slam was up earlier after his ult had expired, so you could have Grand Slammed him before he healed. So good job, Malphite. Alright, so lands the snare onto Thresh, actually. Nice damage. Her ult's up in 5 seconds. So in terms of farm, Fizz and Ahri are dead even. Ahri's opted to go for an Abyssal Scepter over something like a DFG. I'm not 100% confident which is the ideal build at the moment. I understand that she wants the magic resist so that Fizz can't kill her, so it's not a bad option in this case, but I'm assuming DFG is still better in terms of just like picking up kills for yourself and trying to snowball. So if she was confident with the champion and was confident in her ability to outplay the opponent, then I would strongly suggest that she build something aggressive DFG. Alright, Olaf trying to come in top. Not able to connect with his axes, so they just walk away. Seeing Olaf top would be a good indication that you would want to gank mid and take dragon. They go 1 for 1, but the assist goes over to Ahri, so that's actually slightly in favor of blue team because they have dragon pressure right now. So Lux is going to come across, Corki's going to come across. Good job taking the sweeper. Yep, you want to clear it out before you do it. Use your spiderlings to tank this. You should actually start it up immediately. Now, they do see that Olaf has swapped mid. That being said, though, they still have the Lux shields. They still have the teleport available from Malphite, and he has his ult up. So this is relatively risk-free, assuming the team responds. Free dragon over them. Good work. Ooh, little bit of miscommunication here. I mean, she can just flash over the wall, but you need to decide if you're going to fight or not. Yeah, there it is. They get the flash over from Thresh. The repel goes through, Q goes down, and that's a kill over to Elise. Teleport comes in from Malphite, and that's going to go over to Lux, it looks like. Alright, Lux, you needed to detonate that there. Just take the kill as quickly, as efficiently as possible. I know that you wanted to give it over to Malphite, but you're playing a kill lane, so just take the kills. Very good chase coming in from blue side, picking up a lot of an advantage there. They need to take away this tower. You know you're going to lose top, you can't save it, you don't have your teleport up. So, take over the mid tower. Corki actually takes turret aggro though, not ideal. Draven ult comes across, clearing out the minions. This is why you don't want to take that turret aggro there. Because there's no chance of re-engaging there, because, well, you're low health. So now that you got that tower, good work. You need to cycle some people back towards top lane. So Malphite, he's going to go back here. I'm going to cycle over for that. Looks like Ahri is actually going to try and do some split push work bot lane. You do have vision on them going mid, so yeah, she's going to cycle back around for that. I want to see Lux mid here, because there's nothing for you to do bot lane, right? I'm actually going to pause this for a second. Okay, so Lux, you're walking towards bot lane because you're saying, hey, I'm a support, that's where I need to be. But you actually don't need to be there right now. Your AD carry is not there. There's no farm for you to take, really. Well, I mean, there will be eventually. And you see at least 3 people that you've had vision of going mid. So why are you walking bot lane? What's the purpose of that? So that's something you always need to ask yourself. Where do I need to be? What do I need to accomplish? And it looks like she's going bot just because it's habit. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's something I'd like to see her addressing in the long term. Oh my god, I can't control my Spectre client. The charm goes through just in time. Q goes across. Lux has her ult, should be sniping it right there. Instead, though, the Ahri is able to pick it up with the final hit. Good work. That was a very nicely played charm. And Malphite trying to loop around top. Malphite's actually down a little bit of CS, but he is 3-0-1 because he has had that effect across the map. That's actually really good on his part. He has red buff here. He can chase this pretty much all day long. Just force him out of lane. Make sure that he can't stay. Yeah, all that, and his passive is just breaking now. So because you're forcing him out, yeah, this is exactly what you want to do. Clear out the wave, and I want to see him pressuring tower. Because you know you forced him out, right? The Lantern was well placed, but he wasn't able to catch up to the Lantern because he was charmed. Alright, so Malphite should be able to get this before Olaf gets here. Looks like he's not going to go onto it. The thing to remember is that you have a Sunfire cape, so you are going to take damage from the turret. So you need to finish off the tower as fast as possible. And looks, yeah, Ahri's roaming around here. You need to be communicating that between the two of you. Malphite just needs to ult. She can ult in and pick up the free kill. Charm. You want to lead with your charm on Ahri generally, but it doesn't matter in this case. Charm goes across. Malphite ult is used, so keep that in mind. Ahri, you want to. Didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. Ghost and ult being burned by Trin, so nice advantage. I want to see them taking away top tower of his ult because he can't stay. Alright, so Malphite's going back for no reason. He should stay here. Take the tower. Alright, they opt not to. Let's rewind and watch the fight mid. Alright, so Corki's here. Fizz coming in from the side. Does not have ult though. Has Ignite. And has Lichbane. Connects with the Q and just sort of backs out. Thresh lands a very nice hook and ult. But at the end of the day, they were just way too close to tower and taking way too much damage. They needed to position better in that fight. They needed to be a little bit more in sync, and they would have secured that without any real risk. Oh, Lux is DCing. I'm assuming that's just lag. I'm hoping she comes back. Alright. Draven gonna get bursted down by this Elise. Elise, you've had a really awesome effect on this game. Good work. Yeah, she's back now. Hi, Ahri gonna pick up some farm for herself here. Malphite in behind. Elise coming around from the side. Is she gonna land it? Is she gonna land it? Doesn't land the cocoon, forces him into the base instead. Jumps over the wall. You need to back out though, he has ult. Alright, Flash was overkill. I think he could have just done that through movement positioning, like just walking. But either way, good pickup. Alright, Malphite has ult here. Corki's ready to fight. You need to watch out for the Fizz ult, but outside of that, you could initiate something once your team shows up. Alright, Lux is back again. Hopefully she's able to join and stay. Alright, so we see a bunch of pinks going over onto Dragon here. It looks like purple team is trying to get some vision on it. They actually have good warding. I would like to compliment that. Sweeper goes through, make sure that they're able to take the dragon efficiently. Elise is not here though, so you don't have a smite. You want to back out here. Tryndamere coming in from the side. Lux binding goes through. Lux ult goes through. A little too close on this for my taste. Malphite ult tries to go through, but the ult's already been placed. Fizz ult not able to land onto anyone. A lot of focus being spent on Lux. Lux has another binding coming up. Lux is playing this very, very non-greedily. I can't think of the word. Team-oriented. She's being very, very team-oriented in her play here. I've seen a lot of kills that she could easily secure for herself, and she's not doing that. So, good team play. And then that's going to be... Dragon is gone over to Draven, but they can still cycle mid for free kills. Tryndamere are going to be walking away. I want to see blue team just sort of ending the game. And it's not a huge gold advantage, but it's about 4k. It's enough. They need to just be sieging towers. That's all they really need to do. I'm not sure what that repel was used for. I'm assuming she was going to jump into the jungle. I don't know. So what I'm looking for here is an Ahri charm. If Ahri charms anyone, the team can just combo in on it, or they can also lead it with a Lux binding. Either one would work. Or even an Elise cocoon. Any of those skills landing should be a free kill over to them. Fizz just kind of dancing around the side. Yeah, that's an unnecessary flash. I mean, if you're that caught out, just reposition over time. Tryndamere coming in from the side. Malphite ult is not quite ready. It's 20 seconds off. Draven ult across them right here, please. Fizz ult is coming up right now. Oh, they walk right into the Lux ult. Poor positioning on their part. If you're that low, you can't really stay. Fizz lands a very nice ult onto them, but isn't able to go in during it. So, at this point, Cocoon is ready, Binding is ready, Malphite ult is up in 5 seconds. So there's no reason to abandon this fight. You've already seen that they've used their ult, and you've seen essentially what they're capable of here. So, take away this tower as fast as you can. Looks like instead they're going to try and go for kills. Malphite had that on his own. The rest of them, just please focus tower. Alright, good pickup from them. Draven's up in 5 seconds, 15 seconds or 20 seconds on Thresh. So, again, just take the tower. Take the tower and then immediately back. You can't finish it, you can't do the inhib. Alright, I would back out at this point. If purple team communicates poorly, I mean, they could take this, but I think it's a risk. You don't want to do that. They seem to agree because they are backing out. Good decision there. Ooh. Phenomenal. They're taking away blue buff for themselves as well. Just continuing to build up their advantage, not letting up on the enemy team. Alright, Fizz is going towards Hourglass here. That's a good item. I'm still surprised there's no DFG though. I think it should have been done earlier. Alright, Tryndamere off, split pushing top lane, just applying a little bit of pressure. Purple team could go for a Desperation Baron here. They waited a little bit too long, but with Tryndamere applying pressure top, you kind of know that they're going to approach, right? You have vision because of the minions. They could have then tanked that up and done a very quick Baron play. Obviously, they didn't opt for that. It would have had to have been communicated earlier. Instead, they returned with a couple towers of their own, so that gets them a little bit back into the game in terms of gold. Oh, fizzy fizz, fizz. Alright, so Fizz ults onto them. Not going to work in your favor. Lux coming across. Draven in behind. Thresh is going to be zeroed out very, very quickly, though. Draven's just not in position. He's not able to pick this up in time. Yeah, this is not going to work out for you. Alright, stand aside goes through. Heal goes down. They should be able to escape this. Actually, no, Malphite's going to be able to catch out Fizz. Alright, so I want him not to rush his ult. Alright, Repel is already down. Jump onto him with the Q. I would actually be swapping forms right now. so that way you can use your cocoon. That being said, you can finish off this way just as easily. Draven actually turning back around should be able to land this. Nope, heal goes through, but he is going to get the kill. Good for him, he actually picks up some of his passive stacks here. That's going to give him a little bit of a way back into the game. And just because of the stand aside, he actually is going to be able to pull off the ult. Very nice. That's a small advantage, but it's something, right? You get the Malphite ult when you should have just died. Alright, so that Ahri ult is down. She has her DFG though, so Tryndamere is going to have to be safe. Is he going to get it? Very nice. Because of the Ahri ult being down, she had no escapes. So Tryndamere is free to just slow and Rage Beast onto her face. A nice decisive engage from him. I like it. This one is going to be donated over to Draven. I would like to see Lux picking up some of this farm. Just because you're a support doesn't mean you can't take CS. So this is all here. Yeah, she's going to take away some. Good, good, good. Hell, at this point, you could even just ult the wave. Push it out, go back, buy, and then reset for the next fight. A lot of pings going down onto Dragon. This is actually a really risky / poor decision. You don't have a jungler, Olaf's all the way up top. You don't have full vision, and you don't really even have the numbers. So trying to do that was just, I don't like it. So now Elise is going to be here, lands the cocoon, Lux follows up with a binding. Elise is in range, but there's a smite. Malphite chasing onto Draven. The rest of them going to try and chase this kill. Olaf has now arrived, but not going to be able to do anything with it. Tryndamere does get the tower top, so good split push on his part. But this is really the base race that Tryndamere has to force in most solo queue games, where, okay, we're losing an objective, I'm going to just take a tower, or I'm going to take a kill, or I'm going to do whatever. In the meantime, blue team's going to respond with the tower bot lane, or I would expect them to be able to. Malphite trying to loop around behind. Lux landing good damage, actually. Hey, Malphite. Teleporting back over to try and stop the Tryndamere. Flash goes down from Ahri, and he dies to tower. Very nice play. In the meantime, Elise picking up another kill on Fizz. Gonna queue over onto Thresh. Exhaust is used, but Corki is here. Kill goes over to Corki. Lux kiting back and forth as much as she can. She has her ult. I'm actually surprised that she didn't return damage. If she E-ulted, she would have killed him. Well, maybe not. She has some magic resist. Corki looping around the side. Blade of the Ruined King used. Or, yeah, it's going to be just enough with this final rocket. Good work. Draven caught out by another cocoon. Nice play. I've had nothing but compliments for Elise. That's what it is. That being said, they did walk into it, yeah. Malphite has the ult, but no one's here to follow it up, so he's probably just going to have to run away. Just steal the move speed and back out. Hey, Corki, I want to see you taking this tower. Like, I understand what you're doing, and I understand, yeah, okay, you're a little low on mana, but I've seen a couple opportunities where he could be getting damage on the tower, and he just sort of doesn't. In the meantime, though, taking the blue is a nice little touch. Hey, inhibitor goes over to Ahri. Good retreat coming in here. Slow goes down. Valkyrie has already been used. Elise trying to return as much damage as she can. Goes into spider form. Waits for Tree to come back out of his ult. Yeah, Elise is definitely going to go down. Fizz actually picks up the kill. But Fizz is dropped very low in the process. Alright, so Ahri is here. You land the charm. Why are you walking away, right? I would have re-engaged immediately there. I think that was just a little bit sloppy. As soon as you saw Elise take Fizz down, I would have re-engaged. You have the numbers. I think you could have done that. They actually do get the kill onto Draven. Okay, a little bit odd again. If you took a step forward instead to the side and used your ult across, you would have picked up Fizz. Just little nitpicks, but I think that could have been played a little bit smoother. Alright, so applying as much pressure as they can here. Trinamir's back up though, so they're going to back out. Or he's healed up, I should say. Gorky going to be able to pick up this farm bot. Good for him. Alright, a lot of pings going down onto Baron here. At least trying to combo in onto the Trondamore. If Trondamore gets taken down, then they actually would be able to force Baron quite easily. Very nice flash cocoon there. Ghostblade is used. I think you should save those alt charges, Ari. Because if he gets in range, he could possibly return a kill onto you. At least using cocoon, not cocoon, repel to try and catch back up. Alright, Charm just about to come up, but the Thresh Lantern is taken. Draven's bot lane, you can actually force Baron right now. Alright, good use of Sweeper. Corki and Malphite just zoning them out while the rest of them take Baron. Tryndamere tries to bait Ahri. Not going to happen though. Kill goes over to Lux. Yeah, this should pretty much be game. They've zoned them out so effectively here that they're not going to be able to contest this. Alright, Malphite's still up in the middle of them. Flashes back out. Lux then lands a binding. Alt goes across, but Corki's in range, so that should be a kill. Hey, Fizz lands a combo, but not going to be able to deal much damage. I want to see them just ending the game here. Alright, so Inhib is coming back up in a second. May need to take that, yeah. Alright, looks like they're going to rotate top instead. I like that. The rest of the team is respawning, right? So why force something you don't have to when you can just take a tower? Whoever's making these calls, I really like it. You're quite on point overall. Alright, Tryndamere gets back in with his team. In the meantime, though, they are going to be able to take down this tower very quickly. Tryndamere tries to jump in, Elise taken quite low, but is able to repel away. Malphite. Yeah. Okay, so Malphite should be ulting into their back line, I feel, rather than trying to duel Tryndamere. Comes back down from repel. Lux actually did land a lot of damage with her ult. Malphite, though, why aren't you going in on the carries is what I want to know. They should still be able to win this fight, but it's a little bit weird decision making. Fizz ult goes across. They do actually take down the Spider Queen. Fizz trying to jump into the middle of the team during that. Looks like he's going to go for Malphite. Not going to have enough damage to do anything, though. Draven landing a lot of damage onto Corki, but not able to land the final auto attack. Heal goes across. Malphite still has ult. I'm not sure why they're not... The Malphite play there has just been a little sloppy. I'll just go back to normal speed. Lux lands another good binding in E. Malphite, though, I'm not sure what you're scared of with your ult. It looks like they're going to back out for Dragon and drag this out, unfortunately. Honestly, they could have just ended the game there with a good Malphite ult the backline, combo in onto them, end the game. Alright, they're just going to back out. Alright, so... rotating up, Elise just solos it. I mean, it's not even worth rewinding for that because we know what happened. Elise is doing really well and is quite fed now. She's actually picked up an Hourglass for herself too. We see Malphite going in onto Draven. He can duel Draven no problem. Barely even touches his passive. Holy shit, dude. Alright, so take away the top inhib here. That's what I want to see. You don't need to do anything else. Lux, yeah. I understand why you're going back, but you still have your ult, you still have your shields, so you could just stay way, way back line, throw your ult across, and help your team end the game. Alright, Malphite ult is 30 seconds. Ahri, in the meantime, is pushing down bot lane. Looks like they're just going to wait for Elise to get back to them. Lux actually opts to stay, so good for her. Fizz trying to go in onto Ahri, does not connect with the ult. Let's just go back mid. 15 seconds left on the Malphite ult. They should be able to use that to end. Elise goes in, another really good cocoon. Lux not able to land it that time. Nice ult across them. Malphite going on to the inhib. Inhib in mid has respawned. Elise should be able to pick this up. Just flash Q, good job. Draven landing a lot of damage onto Corki, but it's not going to mean anything. Not able to land the cocoon that time. Lux lands a very nice binding, though, onto Thresh. Elise then goes in toe-to-toe with Draven. She still has her hourglass, too, like, holy shit, dude. Alright, just end the game here. Looks like they're going to opt to dive instead. That was a Malphite ult used. That's going to be tower down, inhib down. Honestly, they just need to end, and I'm assuming they will here. Alright, so good game both sides. Thank you for ending the match rather than dragging it out further. We're going to go over final item builds and comments here. Keep in mind we will be uploading these to YouTube in the next hour or two. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed so you get the notifications, and you'll be able to watch back, get some advice on your gameplay. Yeah, really good work, Elise. I had nothing really but compliments for you. You did really well. Okay, so final item builds. Corki going for Trinity Force, Blade of the Rune King, and Infinity Edge, and I'm assuming following that up with a Bloodthirster. The Scrying Orb was a little odd. That being said, you have rockets, Lux has snipes. I'm fine with it if you're using it effectively, but you need to make sure that you're landing the Scrying Orb so you're getting the vision properly. But good work overall, good CS. No real complaints there. There were some complaints during the game itself of how you might have like comboed or positioned a little bit better, but you did fine. Lux support. I was actually, I have to eat my words because you played it very, very well, and you did not play it as a greedy kill lane. So yeah, good work. That being said, Elise, holy shit, man, you just carried through that very nicely. Item builds, a little bit cocky in them because you were so far ahead. But at least the item builds in terms of like building damage served a purpose, right? Hourglass because you were baiting fights. Rallies because you were initiating fights and you need to be tanky, you need to have extra CC. So fine decisions. That being said, usually you're going to go towards more tanky builds. Ahri, I mentioned in the game the Abyssal Scepter, I agreed with it because you were trying to deal with Fizz, and then I said, hey, you need a DFG, and you built it. So good work. And then you picked up Void Staff and would have been going into Death Cap. So that's all standard items. No real complaints there. Malphite, full armor. I like that because Fizz wasn't much of an issue. If he was an issue, though, I would have liked to see Banshee's Veil picked up over Spirit Visage. My own personal preference. Great use of teleport, good ganks. That being said, we had some concerns with you just holding your ult way too long, where you could have just dove onto the backline and popped them up. Overall, though, good work. You did a phenomenal counter to Tryndamere, and that is why Malphite, I think, is so highly underrated, because he does well. He does well versus most lanes, and has phenomenal impact on team fights. Draven, your build's pretty much standard, nothing super out of the ordinary. That being said, we had some concerns with positioning and decision making during the laning phase, and I don't want to pick on anyone, I really don't, but Thresh, you really had some issues during laning phase especially, where you just weren't quite comboing in as you needed to. You were missing a lot of your hooks, you weren't communicating with your team very well, so definitely take a look at the replay. We had some comments too. Overall, though, your build is pretty much what it needs to be. I don't think you needed to finish up Ruby Sightstone, though. You could have gone for something like a Crucible to cancel out some of the stuns or flays, or not flays, bindings. Bindings, that's what I'm thinking of. Crucible would have been a good opportunity to get your team back in, maybe combo that in onto Tryndamere or something. That being said, no one on your team was really ahead that you would need to focus on in protecting them. I do like the Locket pickup, though, because there's a lot of magic damage on the enemy team, and there's a lot of AoE on the enemy team. So that's perfect. Perfect pickup there. Yeah, that's fine. Olaf, I would have liked to see an offensive item, such as a Hydra or something. I believe he builds Hydra or Blade of the Rune King. Either one of those, he needed some way to deal damage. Overall, though, defensive build. You need to work on his ganks also. Olaf is a tricky character to gank with as a jungler. If you can't land a gank, just go farm jungle, go counter jungle, because he duels like a beast if he catches someone out, and if he's able to consistently land his axes. Fizz there, I don't know, I think he needed a DFG if he was going to zero anyone out. We had some concerns with him in his landing phase and in his roam potential. But in terms of his items, they all serve a purpose. His items are okay. Same with Tryndamere. He really didn't have the effect he needed to, but he did split push fine. His items were fine in order to land kills. So overall, they're fine. I'm sorry, I'm really not having that much insight into this. I've been streaming for 11 hours straight now, and I'm just kind of dying a little bit. I haven't really eaten yet today. I've been streaming for 11 hours straight. I'm kind of ready for a nap and a break. So I apologize if you feel that I didn't really touch on your picks and your playstyle too much. We are doing more work